right?
All right, everybody. So this is our video for how to make risotto. And I'm here with Chef John. And he's going to talk us through the process as I'm actually doing the actions, okay? So hopefully you guys can see the pan a little bit. And a little bit, okay?
And so
go ahead, Chef John.
So we'll start with Dave, and Dave's going to be cooking onions until they are translucent. And then what he will be doing is he will be seasoning the onions when he adds them in the pan with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, which is mixed in already. Probably the ratio of salt to pepper is about 90% salt, 10% pepper. So he's going to saute them translucent, and then he's going to season them. And that's the beginning of layering of the flavor, because when you add the salt in to the onions, they release the moisture and the sugars. Now, what we'll be cooking with this risotto is we're just going to make a standard risotto, but we will use Arborio rice. Risotto is the method, and when we use Arborio rice, it is a rice that is special. It's out of Italy, and then they have Carnaroli rice, which is a step up. The reason why it makes it so special is because it absorbs so much liquid. This is a 3-step process. The process is with this is that we will take this and we will saute the risotto in the fat, which we have butter today. You can use any kind of oil if you want. And what we do is when we add in the risotto, we will go ahead and we will coat every single grain with this fat. And this is very important so that each grain retains its starch. Now, with this, and hold on, with this, so the risotto, as I said, it's a 3-step method. So Dave's going to add in the Arborio rice, and so anyway, with the risotto 3-step method, we will add in the rice right now, and we will add in roughly a little bit around a cup of rice, and then we're going to be adding in the liquid in a 3-stage process. What we have today, the liquid we're going to be using is chicken stock. And so we're going to coat all the grains with the fat that we have. And then we're going to add in the white wine. The reason why we want the white wine is we want to give it a little bit of acidity in it. And the acidity will help pick up flavor. So Dave will add the white wine in now. And then what we will do is once that white wine is totally absorbed, and it won't take long because it's a little hot right now, is that we will start to add in the stock. Like I said, today we have chicken stock. So think about all the stocks that you could use for this. And let's say that if you wanted to make a seafood risotto, you could add in a fish stock into it. Now he's going to add in stock just to cover. And he's going to turn it down just a little bit. You don't want it at a boiling temp. You want it at a low simmer. And so when he does this, we're going to cook the Arborio rice with all that liquid until it's fully absorbed. And then we will do another stage of it. And we will cover it again with the stock. And then the third time we'll cover it with stock, and by that time it should have opened up enough. And then we will finish it with butter and Parmesan cheese. This is a very traditional method that we do it with. But as I was saying, you can also take it and you can use different stocks. I would not use veal stock. Veal stock is pretty expensive, but if you wanted to get the depth, and let's say you wanted to put this underneath a shank or any type of Bill Scalapini. You could use a little bit of half chicken stock and half beef stock. But if we were to do in a seafood risotto, you could use a fish stock. Or if you wanted to get a little bit fancy, you could do a crustacean stock, such as a lobster, shrimp, or crayfish. And if you were to do that, what you would do is you would cook all your seafood on the side. In your last stage, you'd put the risotto in the bowl and the seafood on the top. So you can see that your liquid is pretty absorbed. So Dave's going to do another route with it. So this is another stage, and we will totally cover it with the liquid. And then we will cook this a little bit longer. And then, okay, so we're at the step where the risotto or the arborio rice is finished. And so now what we want to do is we want to turn down the heat on it completely. And we want to start to add in our ingredients. The reason why we turn the heat down is because we'll start with the butter. And we're going to add in, like I said, a decent amount of butter. A real decent amount of butter. And we're just going to finish it. And the reason why your heat is down, and you do this with a lot of different dishes too and sauces, is because you want your butter to become creamy. You don't want to see it separate, because if it separates, then basically what you have is just an oily butter on the top. So this is creaminess. So now we have melted the butter in it, and we're going to finish it with the Parmesan cheese. So there's all different types of cheeses that you can use with this, preferably a dry aged cheese. You can do this with Pecorino Romano, Parmesan like Dave's doing right now. There's a great California cheese called a dry jack, which is wonderful. What you don't want is a really soft cheese, such as a brie or something of that nature. You can finish, but it's very delicate at that point. And so this is pretty much the end of it. Now, there's two steps. One, you can put this on a sheet pan that you have put a pan spray on, and you can put it on a thin single layer and stop the cooking process. And then you can bring it out later, just add in a little bit of stock and bring it back up. If you do that, you do not finish it with butter or Parmesan cheese. That's a final step. Or right now, what you do is you would just go ahead and you would put it in a bowl and put any other type of ingredients. If you had herbs that you wanted to finish with, and what I'm talking about is parsley, chives, you could do that right now. You would add that. But anyway, there you are. That is arborio rice and the risotto.